Hi, this is Sim.
And this is Ian.
Welcome to our podcast. Here we talk about the psychology behind professional development. And today's topic is the perfect job, quote unquote, right? Myth. Ian, have
Yes.
you had the perfect job? What does that look like?
I have not. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
No, I thought there's always a perfect job or within reason that maybe
Mm,
there's like a 5% that I didn't really want to go with, but the
yeah.
95%, that, oh man, if I have 95% of what I wanted, that's
Right.
the perfect job. No, up until this point,
No.
it hasn't really happened.
Yeah.
Yourself? I'm
Yeah.
guessing you probably haven't had it either, is my take on it.
Sadly,
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
so close to being a trophy husband. That is my perfect job, right? I'm so close, but I really enjoy sharing information and working with people, right? So sadly, I don't have the perfect job.
Right.
I just have something that allows me time to create that enjoyment in what I do,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
And I think that this is where a lot of us have this misconception of when I get that job, when I get this promotion, when I get leave for this company, I'll be happier.
Right.
It'll mean more. It'll positively impact our lives.
Correct. It's the destination, right?
It's the destination.
Right.
It's like
And so
going to Disney World.
yes. And also I think that when you start with that mentality, it's so easy
Mhm.
to then look at the current situation and say, well, I don't like it for this, this, and this. And maybe it becomes it just becomes, amplified. Once you
Yeah.
find something that looks better, then you
Mhm.
look at your current situation worse and it evolves. It just accelerates the need to leave. And that's
Yes.
happened to me many, many times where I think I found a better job. And
Mhm.
then when I see it on the listing, I would say, now I know why I need to leave this current job because the one I'm looking at, that's going to have A, B, and C. Whereas this job I'm at right now, it doesn't have any of those.
Yeah.
And so
No,
it makes the jump even more appealing,
it
even when
does.
probably when it wasn't in numerous
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah. No, I think about our last episode of Groundhog Day feeling
Mhm.
stuck, right? Oftentimes, yeah, this is the job's problem. That's why I'm not happy, right? I feel stuck. Every day is the same thing. It's not challenging me, it's not helping me grow, and so on and so forth. So when I get to the other side, right? When I leave this job, like you were
Right.
mentioning, right? Yeah, I'll
Yep.
return to that happiness. I'll
Yes.
return to that joy of working. And that does happen, but it's maybe for like 6 months, maybe for a year
Right. Right.
until we get back to that situation of I'm not happy again.
Yeah. And you put a lot of pressure on the job you want to go to
You do.
because now you're saying this is the reason why I'm going to this job.
Yep.
And when you get there, if it doesn't meet the expectations, now you're to your point, now you're starting all over again. And
Yeah.
you're not really addressing the reasons why you're leaving in the first place. You're just putting a band-aid on the problem and saying, in
Yes.
order to solve the problem, I need to leave the problem instead of
Right.
encounter
Right.
the
Now
problem.
I wanna add in an asterisk here.
Yeah.
If your environment is toxic,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Leave as fast as you can.
Yes.
Right? Again, if it's toxic, and we'll talk about toxic workplace in a later episode, right? But we need to define what toxic is. And we have in our early episode of Scary Bosses, right? Working for this is like the episode 3, I think.
Yes. We talk about it. Uh-huh.
We did.
That's
We'll
right.
do a deep dive later on. But one of the things that I want to mention, like so many of us can feel burnt out that where we don't really see the positives of
Right.
our current
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Right. We often fall into that tunnel vision of, well, this is terrible. I'm not happy. I don't like this.
Right. Right. And in addition to that, I think a lot of it now with I get to blame social media
Yeah.
is there's many social media sites that they are promoting what they are doing,
Hmm.
and then and they fall into a trap of comparing to what that person
Yes.
is doing. They seem to be enjoying themselves. Those certain videos on certain platforms, can't name them, are showing the joys of being where they are, and then it makes
Mhm.
you realize, I want that. That is the
Yeah.
joy I'm looking for, and what I don't
Yes.
have in this job. And it
Right.
could be maybe the joy is there, but to your point, you are not in the mindset for that. You're in the mindset of,
Mhm.
I don't want to be here. That looks
Yeah.
so much better. So you're so in my head, over the years, I was so focused on that
Mm,
the destination is the happiness. The
mm,
destination is the joy. And where I'm at right now, it doesn't exist. Instead of
yeah.
saying, this job isn't that bad. I've got this, and this going for me in this job. It's not perfect. At least this is happening. I'm getting
Mhm.
skills. I'm working with great people. This is helping my career development. I get to slowly network with individuals in different
Right.
areas that I wouldn't otherwise, and over time, but I was just, I think, kind of young and stupid,
I mean, I think
Sl-
we are all young and stupid, and until we wisen up, right?
kind of young and
We're
stupid. I admit
always
to it.
always learning. We're always learning, right? What you just defined is what we call in the industry job crafting, right?
Yeah.
Taking the good pieces that give you joy, give you that energy, right? And meal piecing it together. So as you are in your current situation, you're recognizing, hey, I need, for example, personally, I'm a people person,
Right.
right?
You are.
So
That's correct. Yep.
if I have to be in a room with a computer screen or telephone all day long, right? My joy is at a 0, right? But whenever I can, and this is I've done is I'll just go out for water, even if I have my bottle,
Mm,
right? I'll just go out and engage with people every hour, hour and a half because that still brings me joy. That energizes me so
yeah.
I can return to the computer and do the dry work that drains my energy.
So I'm going to piggyback on something you said about
Yeah.
recognizing your joy. I
Mhm.
think it is important that you need to know what brings you joy. And I think if you don't know that, that's why the next job looks like the job for you because it
Yeah.
looks like it brings you joy. If you don't know what brings you joy, there's a really good chance that next job isn't the one for you.
Right.
And I think, again, for myself, I
Yeah.
didn't know what brought me joy. I just knew what brought me a job.
Yeah.
I knew if I'm doing X, Y, and Z skills, that's all I need to do. I'm just kind of like checking a box. And I didn't really kind of align that with joy. I just thought of this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
So I didn't really dig deeper. And I think a lot of maybe other people are like that too. Maybe they're just in there because they have to be there and they don't know what brings them joy because they're doing what they have to survive,
Absolutely.
you know?
I really appreciate that last sentence, what they have to do to survive,
Hmm.
right? Because joy is another state of being
Yeah.
where we aren't in that survival mode,
Yeah.
right? We are able to experience that happiness in The Pursuit of Happiness. Fantastic movie, by the way, right? Where we are able to step back and look and take an assessment of what is positive in our lives, what is
That's
positive
right.
in our career, right? Oftentimes we are so um, we get so blinded by the 1%, 10%,
Mm,
20%, even 50% negativity and the comparison,
yeah.
right? Then we fail to recognize, well, yeah, the negative is still there, but there's also A, B, C, D, E that's
Correct.
positive,
Yeah. Yeah. And I
right?
think trying to weigh out what is so recognizing positive and negative. Obviously, all jobs are going to
Yeah.
have that. Putting more in the process of enjoying the positive and
Mhm.
accepting the negative, and maybe again changing a mindset where what you thought was a negative, it could be a positive.
Absolutely. But I think I missed a point, right? How do you define joy? What does
Yeah.
joy look like? Right? What does happiness look like?
Yeah.
Oftentimes I I've worked with clients that put the ownership of that joy, happiness, success on the external,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And I think this is where when we attach our emotions to something external where we have little control, right? We essentially build ourselves into a space of helplessness.
Hmm.
I can't
Yeah.
really help myself get happy, move away from that survival to the contentment, right? To happiness, to joy, because I don't have this. I don't have that.
And I would say people that are listening, get a coach if you can. I mean, it's, and I say that because I know we've said it a lot in our past episodes, and if
I
it's,
know, I
I'm not
know.
a coach, Sim is. If you want to go to Sim for services, he is amazing.
Yeah.
And if you
Cue
don't,
my This episode is sponsored by Balanced at Last, my coaching services. That's balanced@last.com. If you are curious about how I can help you, please schedule a free consultation call, a 20-minute call to assess your challenges and ways my services can help you. Mention you are a podcast listener and receive 20% off your coaching services. Offer valid for a limited time. Visit balancedatlast.com or scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description below. Thank you for listening. Ed?
yes, subscribe. And if you don't, find somebody that you can work with to help you
Mhm.
find what that joy looks like, what happiness looks like. Because a lot of
Yes.
times it's hard for somebody to do it on their own.
Yes, it
Um,
is. It's like I really appreciate people that who try to do it on their own. I do,
mm,
because it takes so much energy and effort. At the same time, it feels like you're talking into a void when you're
right.
working on it alone. It's so impactful when you have a friend, your family member, you have a coach, you have a counselor, someone in that helping realm, bouncing your thoughts back to you and see how it fits, how it feels, right? And then asking when we're working with a therapist or a coach, right, who are trained in asking particular questions,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
know with AI, a lot of people are AIing these days those questions. It's not the same, sadly,
No, no, it
right?
isn't.
It's
It
not the
isn't.
same because when I'm working with someone live, I get to see the micro expressions
Exactly.
of I
Right.
said the statement, but there's depth to it.
Right. AI only goes on what you tell them. And obviously so
Yeah.
do professionals, but and to
Mhm.
your point of you can see body changes, facial expression
Right.
changes, tone of voice changes,
Hmm.
use of language,
Yeah.
so many different things that
The
AI can't
nuances.
touch on because it's
Right.
a personal one-on-one. It's not it's not a data black and white.
Right. Well said, Ian. Right. So I know I'm checking the time right now, right?
Yes, sir.
We have about 10 more minutes or 20 more minutes, something like that.
It's yes.
Right. One of the things that I keep going back to is an old friend who used to say, you know what, I'll be okay when I'm here, when I'm at my destination.
Mm, yeah.
And that
Yeah.
destination, every time they would claim that destination, that sentiment would change to the next destination.
Mhm.
Right. And then the next destination, which was incredible because it made them driven. Right? They were always chasing for that.
Okay.
At the same time, what I saw is someone that is tired, that needed some rest, right? That
Eh,
needed to
yeah.
take account of the joy of the journey
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
solely depending on the destination. And in my conversations, I'm like, hey, you could choose to delay your happiness until you get there, or you can be happy and to get there.
Well, if that person is happy where they
Hmm.
are they constantly changing destinations?
Great question, right? We want to progress in life, right? We can be happy and still want challenges,
Sure. Oh,
right?
absolutely. But
Yeah.
if this gentleman was or this individual was changing destinations, does that mean that 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 person wasn't happy where they are and they were just putting the
No.
belief in, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Like
I
you're
gotcha.
essentially you're owning your happiness and
Sure.
then you're going to whatever destination you choose to go to.
Right. Okay. It sounded like the person was going to be happy once they reached the destination.
That is what they were operating with,
I see. Okay.
right? And
Yeah.
I've challenged them to say like, hey, let's go ahead and own that happiness, own that
Right.
joy, and continue moving towards your
Right.
next destination,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's great. Hopefully that individual is
Yeah.
happy where they are and they take it with them.
Absolutely, absolutely, right? Because it's something that is so difficult for us to do because
Right.
we have knowingly or unknowingly, we all have a checklist of I want to accomplish A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if I am not able to do this in X period of time, right? I'm working with a client who's about to hit 30
Mm.
years old, and I am older than 30. Let's say that.
I am as well. I think we both are, but
Yeah,
We won't
but
disclose.
there's
That will not make us happy. It
well
really
said, well said.
mm,
Oh, right. But they have this mental checklist. It's like, I'm supposed to have all this done by the time I'm 30. Like, who told you that you have
right,
to get all this done before you're 30?
right.
No, it's a self-imposed list
Mm,
to a self-imposed, well, I'll put quotes up. Self-imposed 30 you're supposed to.
yeah,
But society has, maybe society, maybe the world, maybe our um I guess other time, those
right,
30s, the 40s, the 50s, there's like a checkpoint.
right. And okay, so maybe that bleeds into the workforce in terms of I have
Yeah.
to if I see this other job, it is aligned with one of those objectives of reaching before a certain age.
Mhm.
And maybe it's not the job you need to do that's gonna make you happy. It's just the job that's checking a box. I can see that. I can see that to reach, and what you have perceived upon yourself as, by 30 I should be in this role. I've
Mhm.
I've done that myself. I've done,
Yeah,
I
me
feel
too,
that
guilty.
yeah. In addition, and I think that the perfect job, it was for me equating to how much I should be making.
Mm.
So, or maybe as well as it could have been, this isn't the perfect job. However,
Mhm.
it's making X amount of dollars and it could be a really good stepping stone for the perfect job. So right there, you can tell that it wasn't really happiness. It was
Mhm.
kind of checking a box for external career. Like if I
Absolutely.
make money, then, or if I get a title, then, versus
Right.
is that really what I want to do? Is that making me
Yeah.
happy? So yeah, I see that. It's two different worlds.
It is. It is, and no, it's not. So one
Yeah.
of the key components that I wanna stress here in the duality, but it's a singular thing, it's a continuation,
Mm,
is that your job does not have to make you happy.
mm,
It is not your job's responsibility. It's not your manager's
yeah.
responsibility. It's not your colleague's responsibility to make you happy.
Right.
That's hard to say. That's hard to hear. Mm.
Hmm.
It is your responsibility to make you happy
That's right.
because your happiness goes with you wherever you are.
That's right.
Work, family, personal life, solitary, wherever you are,
Yeah.
your happiness follows you,
That's
right?
right.
I'm saying happiness, but I really need to say your feelings, your emotions follow you.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Right? So the reason we're talking about finding happiness in your job, it can be done once, as you mentioned, Ian, right? Once you identify what actually gives you joy, what gives you happiness, what gives you purpose,
Mm.
what gives you the positivity in your life, right? There's been a couple jobs in my life where I was just miserable
Mhm. I think it's
with the
everybody.
job.
I think it's
Yeah,
everybody that has that situation, you
yeah.
know?
But it paid for my bills.
Right,
It allowed me flexibility and freedom to do X,
right.
whatever that X is. At that time, it was pursuing a hobby, pursuing a degree, pursuing
Yep,
something that is going to help me in the future.
yep.
That's self-investment.
Yeah, yeah.
I compromise with my job not making me happy, but I can create a life that gives me that joy.
We were so the theme
Yeah.
of this podcast is perfect job, right? And so with a
Yeah.
perfect job, obviously anything perfect is a fallacy.
Right.
So if you go into the mindset of I'm looking for a perfect job,
Mhm.
aren't you already setting yourself up for failure? Because the reality is there is no perfect anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes and no.
Okay.
Right? Because we all understand inherently or with reservation that there is no perfect,
Right.
right? At the same time, we can constantly go towards what will align to us as closely as possible, right?
Yeah.
Towards progress to perfection,
Right.
right? So, yes, it is the perfect job is a myth that it doesn't exist,
Right.
just like the perfect life,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But what does exist is our pursuit of finding things that give us happiness, that gives us purpose, that gives us joy, and increasing that
Yeah.
incrementally, right? As
Yeah.
much as possible. So we can optimize the job that currently have and the job that we want to have in the future, right? And
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I I love this process of the 80-20 rule. You've heard of
Mhm.
this, right? It's 20% of what you do brings about 80% of the results. All
There
right.
you go.
So for example, in this pursuit of the perfect job, right? There may be 20% of a week that equates to about 1 day per week,
Right.
right? There may be 1 day or one activity in your day that gives you purpose, that gives you joy, right? So we already
Mhm.
established this. I'm a people person, so I need collaboration, right? I need to be out talking to people because that gives me that joy, that energy, so I can come back and do something else, right? So
Mm.
ways you can start doing this right now is take an inventory
Yeah.
of today, right? This is Wednesday morning. Um, all right, today I will write down all the things that I have done at the end of the day and put a plus, put a negative, put an equal sign, whatever sign you want to use, or however you want to
That's
write
right.
this to identify what brought you joy that day
Right.
and what took away from that energy, that joy, that happiness, the purpose from that day. And see the next week, next Wednesday, what can I increase from that list?
Okay.
Right? I'll challenge people to do it for a day, but if you can do it for not a year,
Ooh.
for a week,
Yeah. Start with a day.
right? Yeah,
We don't
start
go
with
from a
a
day
day.
to a year. We'll just go from a day to like 2 days. We'll just go like
Yeah,
a day to 2 days and 2 days to make 3 days and, slow
exactly.
increments.
Increment that 1%. We
Yes.
always right
Yes.
talk about
We would do,
just
yep.
increasing that to
1%.
1%
That's
more.
right.
In a year, you will have grown tremendously if you just
Yes.
keep pushing for that 1% every day.
That's right.
So the reason I'm saying this is because when I'm at work, I am hanging out with people probably 5 days out of the week,
That's right.
right? And I'm getting work done within that time because I'll come back when I'm like, okay, I feel energy. I have that, joy. Let me go
Mm.
ahead and do something that is boring
Hmm.
to me during that time. And then I'll go back out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I started,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started doing this. It was so scary. It was so scary at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are people going to say? They're gonna say like Sim's never here.
Right. He's isolating
I don't
himself.
know. Hey, this is Sim from the edit office. So, we were trying to create the perfect episode for the perfect job, I guess podcast topic, perfect job topic. And as you know, life came in the way. I lost. You'll hear some of it briefly of technical difficulties. Again, part of life. If you're frozen, it's possible you're frozen.
No, I can see myself just fine. I can
Ian,
see
can you hear
myself
me?
just I can. Yeah, I can hear
Ian,
you.
checking 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Possible it's my internet.
Maybe it's a sign.
Okay,
Can
that's good.
Oh, okay.
You just messaged.
Then I can hear him
I
just
can't hear anything you're saying, so not sure what to do at this point.
okay.
Checking the time, I say we close it at this point and then we'll pick it back up another day. Exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Perfect. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, let's do that. So I wanted to. We're not going to be able to come back together and finish the full recording of this episode, but I did want to take a moment and summarize what we are really trying to say about the perfect job myth and what you can start doing to what you can start doing. So. Biggest thing about perfect jobs or perfect situation when we get there isn't a perfect. We're always having to work in an environment where most of the things are outside of our control. We don't control the job, the manager, the team, the environment, the position, and the economy, and so on and so forth. So, looking to aspire to get into this perfect job, perfect role before you are satisfied, it really can become a daunting task and always chasing and feeling anxious and depressed because you're never going to be there. Again, I'm saying never, but I hope you get there one day. But from my experience, and I think we touched on this in the episode, is that it's really difficult to find something that is quote unquote perfect. And one thing that we can do is learn to um, adjust with the times, adjust with the opportunities that is within our control, and recognize that yes, we can continue making progress, but we can also be grateful and satisfied with what we have right now. Again, chasing something that may come in the future is admirable, but putting most of our hopes and dreams into that perfect chase can be more draining than anything else. Now, here's some things that you can do. I think we were touching on it early on, but make a list of the things that are going well. Even in a job in a toxic environment, you might be able to find one or two things that is going well, that is giving you something, and see if you can just increase that a little bit more day by day, hour by hour. Um, because when we feel we are trapped or we have um, toxic environment, toxicity, that can really cloud our judgment and our perspective of other things that we can focus on. And biggest thing here is as you're searching for and as you're pursuing the perfect job, I want you to recognize that you can be comfortable and seek for more. You can be uh, you can be uncomfortable and seek an escape, but that doesn't really guarantee that you'll find a positive and healthy next stage, right? Next career, next job is going to be healthier than the last. So focus on really doing some internal auditing of what that looks like. How happy are you? And you can take a look at the wellness wheel on my website and see where you can um, advance and create more appreciation, more satisfaction as you're going through this career development journey. Again, sorry about the technical difficulties. It happens. We were hoping to realign our schedule. It's just not happening before this podcast airs. So this is just me saying, perfect job. Yes, we can strive for it, but also recognizing that it's important to uh, find gratitude and grace within our current environment and try to incrementally increase what the positivity that we can add to our lives. Thank you. Thank you for watching the episode. Thank you so much for joining us and being part of the conversation. We hope this episode has given you some insight on your journey to a more balanced and fulfilling career. Please find Beyond the 9 to 5, a balanced career on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode. Thank you for joining us.